Sometimes, it isn't the big events that shake a nation, not the speeches, not the wars, not even the elections. Sometimes it's a fleeting moment, a flash of video just seconds long, that leaves a country asking more questions than answers. This is the story of the black bag at the White House, a clip no longer than 10 seconds, that has spiraled into a debate about trust, truth, and the fragile state of America's relationship with reality itself. The video surfaced over Labor Day weekend. At first, it seemed ordinary, a shaky clip recorded from a distance, showing the stately facade of the White House. But then it happened. A window on the second floor opened, and out of it came a large, dark bag, followed by a long, pale object, both tumbling toward the ground. No context, no explanation, just a moment of confusion at one of the most secure and iconic buildings in the world. Immediately, the internet exploded. On Twitter, on Reddit, on TikTok, theories sprang up within hours. Some said it was trash. Others said evidence. Memes were born. Jokes spread faster than the clip itself. But underneath the humor was something heavier. Suspicion. Why would someone throw anything out a White House window? The White House communications team responded quickly. Their explanation was straightforward. Renovations were underway. A new ballroom being built. Landscaping changes. Upgrades to the Rose Garden. Contractors were on site, clearing out debris. According to them, the bag was nothing more than trash. Ordinary. Mundane. Nothing to see here. But then came a contradiction. President Trump himself dismissed the story in a way that only fueled more speculation. He claimed the video wasn't real at all. He argued it was AI-generated, a deep fake, and that the White House windows couldn't even be opened because they were sealed and bulletproof. His words were clear. If something bad happens, blame AI. And just like that, the story shifted. Now, this wasn't about what was in the bag. It was about truth itself. One voice from the White House said it was real, but harmless. Another voice, the most powerful one, said it was fake. And caught in the middle were millions of Americans, unsure who to believe. This is where the story takes on a much larger meaning. Because in 2025, truth itself feels fragile. We live in an age where AI can fabricate video so convincing that even experts pause before calling it fake. We live in a time when Americans don't just distrust their opponents. They often distrust their own leaders, their own institutions, their own eyes. So let's take a deeper look. Experts in digital forensics analyzed the video. Dr. Haney Fard, one of the foremost authorities in the field, studied the clip, the lighting, the shadows, the way the flags outside swayed in the wind. His conclusion, no sign of manipulation. Nothing in the clip showed evidence of a deep fake. If this was AI, it was flawless. But to him, this looked authentic. On the other hand, the president's dismissal wasn't entirely baseless. Windows at the White House are reinforced. Some are bulletproof. Many are designed not to open easily, but during renovations, temporary changes are possible. Workers often make adjustments. So yes, a window opening is unusual, but not impossible. That contradiction left Americans split. Some people trusted the official explanation. Others trusted the president's denial. And many trusted neither. Instead, they filled the void with their own theories. This isn't new. America has always wrestled with suspicion around its institutions. Think back to Watergate in the 1970s. A break-in at a Washington hotel that seemed small at first became a national scandal, not because of crime itself, but because of the lies that followed. Think about the JFK assassination. Decades later, millions still believe the government didn't tell the whole truth. Think about more recent times, where everything from emails to vaccines to election machines has been clouded in controversy. The black bag fits into this long tradition of mistrust, and the internet amplifies it. On social media, the bag became a canvas for America's imagination. One meme showed it labeled Epstein's Files. Another called it just White House spring cleaning. Some joked that it was leftover fast food, thrown out after a late-night binge. But beneath the laughter was something darker. A deep suspicion that the government hides far more than it admits. That suspicion isn't unfounded. Governments everywhere, throughout history, have hidden truths. But in today's world, where disinformation spreads faster than facts, even small mysteries become national obsessions. This is what makes the black bag story so compelling. It's not really about a bag. It's about us. About the fact that millions of Americans no longer know who to believe. Let's pause here and imagine. If a bag had been thrown from an apartment in Chicago, would it matter? If it happened at a house in rural Ohio, would anyone care? Probably not. But the White House isn't just any building. It's a symbol of American power, American leadership, American democracy. What happens there carries weight far beyond the act itself. That's why this clip matters. Because in a time when America is already divided, already mistrustful, already exhausted from years of scandals, investigations, and misinformation, something as small as a toss bag can feel like confirmation of a bigger fear, that we're not being told the truth. For 10 minutes we could talk about the bag itself. We could debate whether it was trash, evidence, or just a trick of the eye. But that would miss the point. The real story here is what the reaction tells us about America. It tells us that we are living in a country where truth is no longer shared. Where two people can watch the same video and walk away with completely different beliefs about what they saw. Where leaders themselves give conflicting explanations. And where humor, suspicion, and distrust blend into one. That's dangerous. Because when truth becomes a matter of opinion, democracy itself starts to wobble. The black bag story is a reminder, a warning, about what happens when trust erodes. It's about what happens when even small mysteries take on the weight of national crises. And it's about what happens when people stop believing their eyes, or their leaders, or even each other. So maybe the bag was trash. Maybe it was construction debris. Maybe it was something stranger. In the end, it almost doesn't matter, because what the story revealed is far more important. America's trust is already fragile, already torn, already frayed. And every mystery, every contradiction, every unanswered question pulls at those threads a little more. So the next time you see that clip, the bag falling, the window closing, the question swirling, remember this. It's not just about what's in the bag. It's about what's in us. Our doubts, our fears, our hunger for truth in a time when truth itself feels out of reach. That's the story of the black bag at the White House. And it's the story of America in 2025.